So what is the function of rock and roll music, or pop music as filtered through rock and roll? Have a party, have some fun, have sex if you're lucky, I guess. But as Bruce Springsteen has famously said, it's about dancing on your problems, putting some sort of issue you have to a beat and shaking your ass. And this is mostly effective when you have someone singing as great as Mr. Roger Daltrey over the fascinating, rollicking, chaotic, barely contained energy of a rhythm section like Mr. Keith Moon on drums and Mr. John Entwistle on bass guitar, powered along by the resident genius, one of the greats of all time, on electric guitar and power chords, Mr. Pete Townshend, writing songs at the ripe old age of 19, if you can imagine. In 1965, The Who released a string of classic singles, I Can't Explain, My Generation, and my personal favorite, The Kids Are All Right. I don't mind. Papa! Right? Keith Moon. Papa! So exciting. Other guys dancing with my girl. That's fine. I know them all pretty well. Bono, another great rock and roll true believer, famously said, "All I've got are 3 chords and the truth," in U2's rollicking version of All Along the Watchtower from the Rattle and Hum album. All I've got are 3 chords and the truth. The rest is up to you. The Kids Are All Right has 4 chords: D, G, E minor, and A. Amazing what you can do with 4 chords. Such minimal content, creating such infinite content, which for me is why the pop song is the greatest art form. All you gotta do is tell your truth over 3 or 4 chords and make it fast enough so you can shake your ass to it. And you've basically achieved rock and roll. So the kids are all right. Let's map it out, shall we? Starts with a verse, I don't mind. Other guys dancing with my girl, that's fine. I know them all pretty well. So you got a 2-line verse. Then you have a 2-line pre-chorus in which he introduces, he meaning Pete Townshend, introduces the 4th chord, the E minor. Let's put a little bit of darkness in this. Right on the line where he says, but I know sometimes I must get out in the light. Better leave her behind with the kids are all right. So the pre-chorus is actually just a line and a half, and then it gets right into the refrain of the song, which is a double statement of the title. The kids are all right. The kids are all right. Sometimes I feel I gotta get away. Best time, I know I gotta get away. All right, so there's your second verse, and then the second pre-chorus. 'Cause I know if I don't, I'll go out of my mind. What a great melody. Better leave her behind. Refrain, but the kids are all right. Then, like the Beatles before him and Kurt Cobain after, Pete goes somewhere else for the bridge, turning the A chord, which is the 5 of D major, because we're in D major for the song, but he takes the A chord, the 5 chord, and he creates the 1 for the bridge. And then you're into a whole new world, where he decides to really give you his truth. And I know if I go, things will be a lot better for her. I'd made plans, but her folks wouldn't let her. That's just 2 chords, A and G. Amazing. Just using the 5 and the 4 of D, but it's really now, it's the 1, the A, and the flat 7 of A is G. So there's a ruggedness to it. You can feel the hardness of the concrete on that. And he's powering out the A, the power chord. You know, with that thunder wrist of his, that thunder right hand of Pete Townshend. Hammer of the gods, indeed. And that's the bridge. And then after pounding out the G chord with Keith and John Entwistle bashing out behind him, back to the 1. I don't mind. And then he's back. And that is the whole song. From there on, it's just a reiteration of the sections that have already been established. It helps when you have an incredibly beautiful melody to set those longing, aching words to. Now let's take a look at the lyric and the melody. I don't mind other guys dancing with my girl. Oh, really? I think he does mind. He's just trying to convince himself that it's okay, because the vulnerability of that statement is palpable. I don't mind. You know, he's looking across the room, across the dance floor, and there she is, the girl he loves, who he may have gotten up the nerve just a day or 2 ago to ask to go to the dance with him. And she does, but she's dancing with those other guys across across the room. UV light making starshine of her smile. So he's standing there dealing with this insecurity. Much of Pete Townshend's writing is based on insecurity and vulnerability. That's fine. I know them all pretty well. In 2 lines, Pete has summed up the plight of many an insecure person. That's fine. I know them all pretty well. But I know sometimes I must get out in the light. I know, in my head, I know that sometimes I've got to shine, or at least I've got to get into the shine so I can feel a little better about myself and all these crazy thoughts in my head. Better leave her behind. It's better for me to leave her behind. He's trying to convince himself. He doesn't want to leave her behind. He loves her. With the kids are all right. That's an interesting phrase. What does that mean? Better leave her behind with the kids are all right. It's a song about convincing oneself that it's okay. Although it's really not. Sometimes I feel I've got to get away. Bells chime. I know I've got to get away. Get away. From what? His family home, his parents, his boring life, seclusion, the crowd that doesn't understand him, this girl that he loves who doesn't really want him. Sometimes I feel I've got to get away. Bells chime. Interesting little phrase to describe the town. Time is ticking. I've got to get away. 'Cause I know if I don't, I'll go out of my mind. Better leave her behind with the kids are all right. The kids are all right. And then onto the bridge. And I know if I go, things will be a lot better for her. Where's he going to go? Is he leaving town? Is he running away? He's going to another town, maybe go get a job somewhere. I'd made plans, but her folks wouldn't let her. He saves the most jarring truth for that bridge. I'd made plans, but her folks wouldn't let her. And then the anger. Rage and anger is big in the music of Pete Townshend and The Who, which is why they found such an audience, with mostly men to begin with. Although women have come around in the last 20 years or so. You see a lot more women at Who shows now, which is always awesome. Alienation, insecurity, vulnerability, and truth set to rocking power chords and a gorgeous melody. I don't mind, gaga, other guys dancing with my girls. Just so tuneful, so melodic, so memorable. What a beautiful piece of work. I don't mind other guys dancing with my girls. That's fine. I know them all pretty well. But I know sometimes I must get out in the light. Better leave her behind. When the kids are alright. And I know if I go, things will be a lot better for her. I'd made plans, but her folks wouldn't let her. I don't mind other guys dancing with my girl. That's fine. I know them all pretty well. But I know if I don't, I'll go out of my mind. Better leave